Welcome back to week 20 of the house renovation, and as you can see we're in the main bedroom and it's nice and white coated now. We've just put this mist coat on. As you can see it's still really patchy because this is literally just a mist coat, which is 50% white paint, 50% water. I've done this room, I've done this room that you saw I believe in week 19. At the end of week 19, and week 20 is going to be a nice and long episode because this week I've got the whole week off. It's Tuesday at the moment. I've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to work on the house, so it should be a nice long episode for you. So I'm not 100% sure what we're going to be doing this week, but we are definitely going to be moving all the stuff out of this room into this room, and all the stuff out of the living room downstairs into one of these two rooms, because we are going to be preparing for plaster next Friday for this room and for the hallway as well. So just to give you a bit of an update, we have now mounted the cabinet on the wall for the mirror, obviously. That just needs to be chased in. The electrician did this for me today. So yeah, they've chased that in, they've connected it up where the mains power is. We still need to put the extractor fan in. We've got now the 4 spotlights in. So yeah, there's been a lot of progress, especially today. I've done a lot of this painting, but I think this will be week 19 because I haven't started today because the electrician's been here. So without further ado, let's get into week 20 of house renovation. It's a good milestone, 20 weeks. And yeah, we've got nearly 2,000 subscribers now on this channel, which is brilliant. So thank you everyone that you subscribed. It really means a lot. And let's get into week 20. Hope it's a good one.
So before they can plaster the second bedroom, we need to block up this fireplace as we did in the other bedroom. So yeah, this is just a quick time lapse of blocking up this fireplace.
So the next thing that we need to do is lay the flooring in the bath. As you saw, we put the bath in the other day. The electricians have actually installed the mirror on there. I think it will need to be raised a little bit just because of the height of the basin, but we'll see when the basin's in. So what we're going to be doing is laying this floor. This is the flooring just for your reference, so I think it will go quite well with the colours. We'll see when it's installed, but we need to leave a 6mm expansion gap around the edge and lay the floor in. Obviously we need to cut through the pipes, but it's like a laminate tile, so it feels the same and acts the same as a tile. It's pre-grouted, but it's like a click thing. So yeah, it should be quite good. I just saw we did the underlay and the underfloor heating already. So let's start this.
So here what we're doing is basically marking the middle of each tile. Now this is so that we can line the grout lines up and make sure it's basically even as it goes across. And I just thought that this would be the easiest way to make sure all the grout lines were in line and they're like in a brick-like pattern. Now I'm not going to lie and say this was our first attempt at trying to lay this. We actually wasted 2 panels because we accidentally cut before dry laying. So if you guys are doing it in the future, make sure to dry lay it before you cut the panels, so you know where the kind of the grout lines are and stuff like that, and making sure it actually fits properly. Now next we were taking this fireplace out. Now we don't think it was the original one because you can see the bricks where we think the original one was. Now we are going to be boarding this out, not boarding it up, but boarding it out and then making some sort of brick slip feature like you can see on screen. So hopefully it'll turn out all right when we finish it. Next, we needed to remove the ceiling in the living room. Now this is because there was some sort of lining paper or some sort of coating on the actual plaster. As you can see, it's got that yellowy colour. Now the plasterer said that the plaster just wouldn't stick to it, so we could either overboard it or take it down, and we thought might as well take it down because we needed to fix some of the floorboards above anyway, which you'll see later.
So now that the ceiling's down, we can now have a look at securing some of these cables and this pipe work. So these cables are from obviously the old installation, so we need to clip those back, which we can do. Same with the new ones for there and the old light switch for there. And over here before, I don't know if you saw it previously, but the floorboards at the end have got like a lot of movement in them when you stand them from upstairs, and that's because they're just not supported at the end here. So what we're going to be doing is screwing a piece of wood from there to secure those, then one from there to there, or however long we can get it to secure those, and then we can also secure this pipe work as well and just do it all the way down. So that will get that problem out of the way. So I'm not sure if you can see that to the lighting, but what we've done is we've screwed a batten across there, and then across there, and that means that the floorboards don't have any movement up there. I've just been up to check them. So yeah, we're just going to clip these pipes back, just so they don't move, and I've got some support on them, and then that'll be job done for this section. And as by magic, we have now put the clips to secure the pipe work, so there shouldn't be any more squeaking or any more movement from those now. So it's a new day, and yesterday our water supply connected our new cold main. As you saw before, we had a new main trench or mould down. So as you can see now, it has been connected. That's the new main connected up, and now we've got a stop tap outside and a water meter. So that's all of that sorted now. So as you saw, it went underneath, they mould out this area down here, they went up into the floor here and into the kitchen area. So the old lead main has been disconnected now, so we can now start to take it out. I've already started to take apart the water meter. I've just cut off the stop tap there, and yes, it is all disconnected. As you can see, there's nothing coming out of it. And yeah, good riddance to the old lead main. So we can take this lead out, we can cash it in for some scrap and see how much we get. But yeah, that's the old one. This one is now connected, but it's turned off outside because obviously they don't want to turn it on because I don't know if there's any open ends or anything. So yeah, I need to basically cut that back, need to tie this back to the wall so it comes up between there, and then it comes up just pointing up there, which would be good. So yeah, that will be the new mains. We need to cut it back obviously, and yeah, we're going to take that old main out. So let's take it out, because yeah, we don't want that lead main in here anymore. So yeah, let's do it. Sudden weight to it. Just that section probably weighs 3 or 4 kg. Actually no, probably a bit more than that, because look at like the diameter of that pipe. Jeez. Okay, so next what we're going to be doing is insulating the ceiling above the living room, and obviously because it's the main bedroom above this, we want to do it with acoustic stuff. So I'm going to start doing this 400 depth, well between 300 and 400, because the joints will move over time. So yeah, let's start laying this. Jim's already installed the string just until the plasterboard goes up, with the plasterers are going to be doing, not us. So yeah, the string's up just to keep it up there. So let's get going. So that is the ceiling all insulated now. We've done a good job of that. So now we're going to be moving on to the landing, because that all needs to come down for the plasterers next week, because they need to do some repair work and there's a couple of cracks and stuff, and we'd need to scrape it anyway because of the Arctic's on it. So we just said to them we'll take it down and then they'll reboard it. So that's what they've allowed for. So that's what we'll do next. The next thing I'm going to be doing with this mast is clearing out the loft before we take all this down. So obviously we've done a little bit more here, so we don't want the dust to get everywhere. So I'm going to be basically vacuuming out the ceiling so the dust doesn't get down everywhere, and then we're going to be able to take the ceiling down. So that's what we're going to be doing.
You're not actually going to post that, are you?
Of course I will. So currently standing in the landing, we've just taken the ceiling off. We forgot to hit record, but yeah, that's the ceiling landing down. Or the landing ceiling down, ready for the plasterers to reboard and then replaster next week. So yeah, there was a brick loose around there, so I'm going to ask them to cement that back in. We've hacked off a bit of a loose plaster. We're going to have to also remove this wood reveal around, but yeah, hard work, but we did it. Very messy, spent nearly as long cleaning up as we did actually taking it down, but it's going to be worth it in the end.
So we're jumping back to the fireplace downstairs, and we're cleaning this out because it was very shallow, and we noticed all these bricks and they weren't really attached to anything, so we just thought that we'd poke around and see kind of what was behind. And yeah, the clip will kind of explain what we did, but we basically took all these bricks out. Luckily there weren't anything structural or anything like that, so we're all good.
Sorry, Brendan Aaronson.
That's as far back as we're going to go.
Oh, can we just etch that corner bit?
You've got great options off the bench. Why not use them? And we make lines from the edge of the lead slots. Danny Price obviously outside of the challenge on that, so it's going to be a free kick for Leeds. There's a Logan actually got the ball for that this 2-week international break that we've had.
Where that go from?
These little niggly fouls are building up. They're just taking away any position that they could. So they've done really well. And Melier's had the ball. It looks as if they wanted to press. Melier's left it long and nothing's really happened at the back of that. That happened back to the QPR defence.
Yeah, that's where it is.
That's a poor shot from Soto on Dan Jones. It's a free kick and
I think this is all mortar, but it's nothing.
red card for the score of the opening Queen's Park Rangers goal. Dan Jones looking to come forward on the counter, but he's intercepted the free kick and he's caught him from behind, Sato. I think he's caught him on the Achilles, and that is why referee Tim Robinson. points above the bottom four.
That's cool.
Defender Tom Bradbury sent off.
God.
And then Swindon got a couple of late goals.
That's not
from
good.
Avery and Clark with those goals. So finished 3-3 by
What's not good?
Doncaster's point.
It's totally open at the top.
And in the Panorama National League today.
Well, yeah, that's what a flue is.
No, but there's no like cap on the top.
The Latics after Rochdale took an early lead.
So like it's totally open for the rain to come in.
In the playoff places.
Oh.
Coming up, we're going to take you around
Seriously?
and bring
The boots, the
Also.
world-class tactics, the science-backed nutrition. Pros have their tools, and with Betfan, so do you. Our safer gambling tools work just like the Royal Island boots, designed to keep
Yeah, you can see there, can't you?
So taking all of this out, we've found all the old fire start stuff. So I do believe this was the original. Now it's all out. As you can see up there. We might need to get a cowl for it, but yeah, that looks like it was the original fireplace. So we'll probably batten that off and then brick slips on this section there. So it should look quite nice.
Do you want me to hold that? Do you want me to hold it?
Can I have the concrete screw, please? Oh, no, there's a big end. Can I be the big end?
Yeah, can.
That should be fine. And then can I have the other bit in there?
Yeah, of course. Different screw.
A screw, and then that other piece of wood.
Might have had a bit of an error.
And a marker as well.
I just realised.
Yeah.
Is there any way we could test the water, run the water out? You got any taps or anything on the bath or anything?
No.
No. Have you got any? Have you got a compressor or anything to test it with air or not?
Too late. I just turned the water on. I just literally just turned it on. I thought.
So the plumber's been round today to fit our new boiler because we thought that the year of manufacture was 2021 and it was working when we before we took it off, but it's been off for a few months and he's saying that you shouldn't really put it back on after it's been sitting for a few months because the parts could have seized and everything else. We did need a few new pieces like a new flue. We needed a new flue internal component, so the amount that it would cost to repair just wouldn't have been worth how old the boiler is. Now we thought it was only a couple of years old, but it turns out to be 12 years old, so it's basically the end of its life anyway. So for the cost of a new boiler, we would have had to spend £400 or £500 in parts, and if it breaks 6 months down the line and we need a new boiler anyway, all the pipe connections will be different. It's just a nightmare. So what they've done today is basically, it's been really good actually. So as we saw before, the new blue main is in. They've tested it all, it's all live at the moment. So yeah, this is our new boiler. It's a Worcester Green Star 28 CDI. So yeah, it's a nice 28 kilowatt one. As you can see, the pressure's all holding okay. It's been like that for a couple of hours now, so seems all cool. So yeah, they've done really well. They have also extended the gas. So this is where the gas was before. They extended it out, so it comes up outside and then back in through the back. And then we've also got the gas in for the cooker, and they've also taken our hot and cold feeds for the new sink up here. So yeah, they're all connected now. Everything's live. The water's live outside as well. And yeah, they're taking it upstairs. They have done the connections up there. So yeah, it's all nice and live now. The heating's live, hot and cold water's live, and there's been no leaks, touch wood, so far. So yeah, as you can see, the dining room is still a bit of a mess, but yeah, we're really getting there now. You know, we just need to put the floor down, but that'll be our next job, because now we can insulate underneath the floor now that the gas is in. Put the floor down, and then we can start getting this kitchen fitted. So yeah, it's been a good productive day for the plumbers. Myself and Rachel have just been sorting stuff out, as you saw in the time lapse in this fireplace. So this is what it looks like now. Now a lot of people were saying that the fireplace that we took out here was like the original, but we really don't think it is the original one, because that is the gas fireplace at the moment, and we think that that's basically what it was originally when it was originally done. As you can see up there, we've started to board it out. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and yeah, we're just moving on to small bits now. So the next thing we're going to be doing is taking off these window reveals because they're so old, and then cutting that one off up there. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing now. Right, so coming into the last day that we've got of this week, because it's Sunday, so it's the last day that I've got of this week. So we are going to be moving on. So myself and Rachel have stripped off the plaster above there. We just need to do a little bit more there. We need to take that bit of wood out there, which has been moved to tooling, because obviously the plasterboard's going flush against this wall, and that's off a bit there. So yeah, we need to next build. Let me get the light in here so you can actually see. We need to build a stud wall, well, a little bit of a stud frame here, because there's going to be a toilet going in here, but we need obviously a frame to go in, because soil pipe will need to go out the back and then out that way, and it'll come back in itself towards the soil pipe, which is just there. So it will come out there, back on itself. So we need to make a frame about there, just to box it in, because we don't want it to be too far back so people hit their heads when they come off the toilet, but also we don't want it to be too far forward that we don't have enough room in here. But we've got a decent amount of room. I mean, we've got a little basin going on this wall, so yeah, we're just going to get a section out here, and yeah, see where we go. We'll measure it out just to see where we're going to put it, build a stud frame, and yeah, job's a good one. So let's get into it. So that's the majority of the frame done. There's obviously one stud to go there, which I need to screw in still, and then there's going to be one stud to go that side, because if I do it right in the middle, obviously the soil pipe won't be able to go out. But yeah, I do need to core through the hole through there, which is why I'm not finishing it off today. That'll be a job for next week. Hopefully I can get in before the plasterers board this. So yeah, I need to go through there with a 5-inch core hole, ready for the 4-inch soil, and then we'll just mortar around it, and yeah, that should be all covered then.
Hey guys, so back again. I'm gonna do a little kind of house tour, because hopefully in our next video it will look really different as we're getting the rest of the house plastered. So it's just a quick run through of what it's looking like now, the prep work we've had to do for the plasterers to come in, because there was a little bit to do, all like the annoying little stuff you don't think about till it's last minute, and it's like, oh, I need to do that. So we haven't like filmed it, but I'll show you what we've done, because it's really quite boring to be able to see. But so as is so far, we've got this side plastered, and they're coming in, they're going to plaster this wall. We've had the wires chased in, we've got our new fuse board on, so that's perfect. I do just need to scrape this little bit of Artex off, just so that they can plaster over, otherwise it won't stick as well. So they're going to be doing that. they're going to be doing the living room, which is great. So as you can see, it is a mess in here, but what room isn't? We have insulated the ceiling. So we basically just use little bits of thin rope just to hold it in, because the plasters, they're going to plasterboard it for us. So it's nice and ready to be plastered. So we've got the insulation, because obviously they won't do that. So that's something we did. We have insulated this wall with acoustic insulation. And we measured, we're going to have the TV around here, so we don't need to put any extra supports in for this wall. So again, they're just going to plaster that, and that's all good. We took off the little frame around here so they can just plaster that up. And then with our fireplace over here, we weren't really too sure what to do with it to start with. We were like, we wanted to make some sort of a feature with a fire, but because the roof is so old, it's like the really like fragile slate tiles, it's a real pain to actually be able to use a fire, because obviously you've got to clean the flue every time, and it's too risky, because every time you go up you're probably going to damage some of the tiles, and it's not worth it, to be honest with you. So what we want to do instead is keep it like a fireplace, maybe put like a fake like electrical one in. So what we've done is, I'll put in some pictures before, but basically when we took the fireplace out that was originally here, there was bricks about here all the way back. So we took those out, and this restored it to like the actual fireplace. You can kind of see the scorch marks from where it used to be, where it just used to be used. So what I have done is I've made a frame, I've boarded that up, and I also boarded the ceiling. I need to cut off all the spray foam, but I've basically boarded that up. So what we're going to get the plasterers to do is plaster that, put some little plaster on the side, so basically it'll be like a nice indent. So then what we can do is we can put one of those fires in. There's like an electrical fire, it looks like you know, like the fake flue that goes up, so that'll look really nice. It would be a feature, because we do want to make it some sort of a feature, because you know, they're nice having fireplaces, we're just not going to make it work properly. So that's what that's looking like. So that's all ready for them to plaster. So I've just got to move everything out of this room basically, but that's it for this room. So it will look really nice when this is all done, and can start going on to the next stage then. So again, in the little downstairs cupboard here, let me put a light on so it's easy to see. So obviously this is going to be our downstairs toilet. So the plumbers came the day they put our new boiler on, because annoyingly we found out that boiler was not from 2021, which is what we thought, what the estate agents had told us. It was actually from 2013. So apparently it was just a new part that was from 2021. So we had to get a new boiler, but it wasn't too bad price-wise, but they basically came in, fitted that for us, and then you can see in the stud wall that we built here, they've just put the pipes all the way up. So you've got the hot and cold and the heating ones, I believe, don't credit me on that. You can see they've done the plumbing up there, so that goes all the way through, so that's perfect. This is why we did a stud wall, because otherwise we would have had to build the wall out. So it's nice, it's just in, it will look tidy and neat. I've then got to just insulate this wall basically, so that's all good. Along here there was like an old bit of wood that we kept to start with, but it stuck out about this much. So basically I've been hacking that off, and I've just got a little bit left to do at the bottom, but it's been a very slow progress doing that, because I've just had to use the multi-tool and it takes ages. So I've been doing that, and also we had to hack off all the plaster on this wall. So there's a little bit just the bottom down there which I need to do, but basically hacked it all off so it's nice and level for when they come in. And Nick has been building some sort of like a timber frame here, because basically we're going to bring that forward slightly, and then that's where the waste pipe's going to go out for the toilet. So the toilet's going to be about here, just going to go out so you won't see anything, which is really nice. It's going to be nice and covered. So they're going to come in, they're going to board the ceiling, they're going to board this and basically plaster it. So that will all look really nice, and we'll probably not get there anytime soon with putting a toilet in, but at least for now it can be used as a storage cupboard, which would be great, because everything's kind of everywhere at the minute. We've got our kitchen that was delivered early in the week, so that's all just sitting here. We were originally gonna try and fit it ourselves, because it seemed pretty easy enough, how they described it anyway, but realised there's actually loads of the kind of the frames and the artex and the details that aren't assembled, and we'd have to cut it out, put it on, and it's really hard to do when we've only got the weekends. So I think if we had like a week or 2 weeks, we probably would have fit it ourselves. But we're gonna have to get someone in to do the worktops anyway. So it got to the point where like, we'll just get someone in to do it because we don't have enough time. If we weren't working, I think we could probably give a crack at it and it would be great, but we're just getting someone in. So that'd be really good. So we're going to put our floors down. Finally, I can't wait to have actual flooring. So we're gonna, now that the plumbers come, this is all set up, we can insulate down there, put our flooring on. So that will be pretty good for this room then, to be fair. Looking pretty good. And then upstairs, they're also plastering the upstairs hallway and the last bedroom. So they'll be plastering all up here, which look really nice. They're going to be doing all of this window frame. So there was some of the loose plaster that we just hacked off, and they're just going to do it. We also took the ceiling off because we'd already cut it to here, and it was kind of cracking and it was really hard. So they decided, like the between us and the plaster, just decided just take it down. They're going to put it up for us because it's a real pain to do when it's over the stairs and it's a curve. We don't have the right stuff to do that yet. So if we wanted to, we probably could have, I think, but it's just, it's not worth it at this time point. So they're gonna come and do that. So they're gonna plaster that, plasterboard over that. They're gonna plaster all around here. So we've taken the trims off for all the doors for them to do. So they're all ready. And then lastly, the second bedroom in here. So the fireplace is all boarded up. Basically everything's ready. We've taken off the wallpaper. Around the windows, we've taken off, we took this kind of the window frame tray off a while ago. It's quite back early on because we found we had a bird's nest living up there. So we've taken it all off basically, and they're just gonna come in and just re-plasterboard it. They're gonna see what they want to do with this wall because this wall is actually wonky, which is really frustrating. It is enough to be able to notice, like, but they're gonna see what they think. If it's fine, they're just gonna leave it. So yeah, so this room's all good. We didn't need to take down the ceiling. We didn't need to do anything with that. They're basically just gonna skim over it because that looks fine. So yeah, that's all good. So I need to just kind of give the floor a bit of a clean because we've trying to put like a protective film on the floor because obviously the plaster really sticks to the floor and it's hard to get off. So gonna try and do that today. And yeah, so we've put everything in the other rooms. Just tried to store it out of the way really. And then once the other rooms are plastered, get cracking from there.